Hello, my name is Seli.
My name is Zeynep.
Today we are going to talk about street animals, the bad conditions they are living in, the policies about them in our country and European countries, and the things that we can do to protect and look after them. And also we are going to talk about our project. First, we'd like to start with the placement animals in our culture. We all know that in Turkish culture, animals have always privileged places. And when we look at the Turks' first calendar, we saw that the months are named after animals. And even with the Islam, since it's forbidden to hurt animals in Islam, this understanding got even more important. When we look at the Ottoman, the very important example, I think, the job called mancacılık. Well, manja means the dog and cat food, and mancacı is the one who sells it. People can pay the mancacı to buy the food and feed the animals.
So, what we want to say is animals have been important in our culture. We obviously still have love for them, but this is also an issue right now for both people and both animals. And I want to start with the problems of street animals. First of them, there are so much violence that comes from people to animals. Nowadays, we heard Eros and Jezve. They both murdered by some people because they didn't have security, and one of them's killers didn't even punished. Also, in the streets there are so much traffic, and this is dangerous for animals just like us. So there is no security in streets. Also, they are fighting with hungriness in streets because they don't have a owner, and of course some people feed them sometimes, but they don't have a stable owner to feed them every time. And we have solution for this. We think a project for this. Our project slogan is one cup can change everything. Our purpose in this project is feed animals regularly, and we wanted to start with our school's animals. Our plan is asking our 5 friends and want them to buy a cup of food for animals instead of buying a cup of coffee in a day. And with this plan, we feed our school's animals like regularly.
Today it's William's turn to feed the cats.
Today I didn't get my coffee, so I'm gonna feed the cats.
Today is my turn to feed the cats. We are doing this day by day for feeding our school's cats regularly. And it's my turn now. Also, another bad thing in streets is air conditions, especially in winter. Animals are cold just like us, and we can even put a fabric in a box and make a basic shelter for them to prevent them from cold.
Have you ever experienced anything bad about street animals, and what is your thought about this issue?
In the mornings, I can't go my bus station because of the dogs. I have to wait them until they're gone. I love street animals, but they can be dangerous some situations like that because they are so crowded group, and it may be dangerous for people.
I don't personally experience anything with dogs, but one of my friends told me a story about them. In Antalya, there is a woman, and this woman is going to a forest or something for I don't know why, but she attacked by a group of dogs, and she traumatized by this experience. Unfortunately, she can't go outside by herself. That's why I think street animals, especially street dogs, a issue in our society, and it needs to be fixed somehow.
Do you do anything to protect animals in your personal life?
I put clean water and food around my house and same as dormitory. And in winter, because of the cold, we put a blanket in our balcony to they get warm. And I warn people around myself to do the same thing.
We want to look at the policies about this issue in our country and in European countries. When we look at in Turkey's policy about this, it was collect, vaccinate, neuter and place them back. But while this collection, they were collecting them and bringing them to the shelters, but these shelters condition weren't that good. So these caused some criticism and it changed in 2024 again. Now with the new law, the euthanasia for the owners and ill animals have been brought up. And there are some other steps after this collection and it depends on the country. For example, in Sweden, animals are staying in shelters until they die. The most successful one is the Holland because they mostly use neutralization. Their method is collect, neuter, vaccinate and replace them back. This takes time, but it brings a final result. There are even a political party called the party won the Drennen, which means the political party for the animals, and they even had animal policy.
In our country, sterilization is not a common technique because we can see the results in a long term. But we think that this is more compassionate way to get rid of the street animal problem. Because of this reason, we think that this is the right way to do this.